Gaming Committee shall come to order. Please come to order. I have two replacement letters from Speaker Welch, replacing permanent member Ann Williams with temporary member Tarver, and replacing permanent member Ford with temporary member Buckner. Clerk, please call the roll.
Didich.
Here.
DeLuca.
Here.
Stevens.
Here.
Cabello.
Here.
Croak.
Here.
Gonzalez.
Here.
Gordon Booth.
Present.
El Hernandez. Kiker.
Kiker's here.
Rita.
Here.
Schweizer.
Present.
Sheehan, sorry. No, Sheehan. Spain.
Here.
Vella.
Here.
Walsh.
Here.
Williams. Buckner.
Present.
Tarver.
Present.
We have 15 members present.
The chair will recognize Leader Tarver to present House Bill 4149. Leader Tarver, proceed when you're ready.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Let me just pull up the bill. All right, looks like I have no internet. Give me 1 second. I think I have a hard copy. Again, thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 4149 is actually in response to what was phrased as a loophole that we learned about during the JCAR committee. And what it would do is prevent anyone who sells a lottery ticket from doing so on a credit basis. It would not allow casinos to perform cash advances from ATMs, and prevents or prohibits, a person from being able to use a credit card to participate in a gambling. Actually, that language is a little odd. It says in a gambling game. But those are the three things that the bill does. Happy to answer any questions.
We'll read the witness slips. We have 35 proponents, including Zachary Stallard, Stop Predatory Gaming, and mostly other individuals. And if there's no objection, we will waive the reading. 2 opponents, individual Nancy Koch and Ben Whipple from Boyd Gaming Corporation. 1 no position, Alex Sobar from the Illinois Gaming Board. Is there anybody wishing to provide oral testimony? Yep, come on up. If you could identify yourself and please proceed. Thank you.
My name is Zachary Stallard. I'm here representing Stop Predatory Gambling. And just to speak briefly with you all, I've had the opportunity with some of our other volunteers who are also just concerned residents of the state to meet with some of you and to share, as we do each year, just that this is a significant issue as far as addiction in our communities that we need to continually be paying attention to, that there's an addiction component to everything that you do here in this committee. So I know that that's something you all care about, and we're just here to continue to speak to this. On this particular bill, I come to you today not as a deeply trained expert or a lobbyist for any particular group here, but just as a regular citizen seeking to remind that there are hundreds of thousands of those whose suffering is hidden, who don't have big money to lobby you, but are paying attention to what happens here and are affected by what happens with each of the bills in the committee. With this particular bill, we are encouraging you to support it because there's a basic rule that seems to make a lot of common sense. We should gamble with money that we have and not money that we don't have. So closing the kind of loophole, as was mentioned on the lottery where credit can be used, would make a lot of sense to us. The gaming board, as you may know, closed the ability to use credit cards for sports betting last year. The administrator of the gaming board said there's a growing body of recent research showing that restrictions on credit usage to fund wagering accounts encourages responsible gambling and mitigates the harms of compulsive gambling. Problem gamblers are particularly at risk, and studies have shown an often problematic willingness for compulsive gamblers to use credit cards to place bets. So that's the end of his quote. Credit cards have long been banned for casinos, for video slots, and our logic is that that should just extend to the lottery as well. I got into this because I once worked at a grocery store and I saw the repeat lotto customers coming in day after day for their lotto tickets, and for some of them to stand in front of the scratch-off machine for an hour, child in tow, buying, scratching, sold on a dream of escape via the lotto, but falling ever deeper into a problem scratch by scratch before the eyes sometimes of their children. So credit card availability for lottery purchases enables that problem to eat away not only at that week's limited paycheck, but at the months ahead. The brain caught in addiction loses ability to rationally consider those consequences in the moment, to see the food being taken off the table and the future rent slipping through fingers. To allow credit cards for the lottery and for the cash advances at casino ATMs knowingly opens the door to gambling with debt, funding our state by mortgaging the future livelihood of addicted people. So people without an addiction problem, I believe, can surely live with using a debit card or cash for their gambling, so we can limit the harm in a small way for those who are addicted. So I ask you to make the common sense choice we already have for our other forms of gambling. Let's do it here as well. And you'll see that several other members of the legislature have signed on, as we've encouraged them to, as co-sponsors recently.
All right, thank you. Questions from the committee? Vice Chair DeLuca?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can you clarify, Leader Tarver? So an ATM machine within a casino, you cannot use a credit card to withdraw cash. This would prohibit that in the future?
Yes, my understanding is that there are opportunities to use a credit card to get a cash advance, and that obviously is subject to interest in the same way that a normal credit card purchase would be, and this would prevent that, or it aims to prevent that, I should say.
So you can't withdraw cash from an ATM, you would not be able to withdraw cash from an ATM machine within a casino with a credit card under this?
Yes, I believe a debit card, yes, you would not be able to get a cash advance from your credit card from the ATM at a casino.
Okay, and it also states, if you could clarify this, a credit card cannot be used to participate in a gambling game, but then later it says that you could use a credit card to purchase chips.
I apologize, if you can point me to where you are in the statute.
It's in the analysis. I don't have it in the text.
Let me do a control find. Give me 1 second. And just to be clear, you said that there's language that's specific that allows you to purchase chips with a credit card. Is that correct?
It would allow you to purchase chips with a credit card, but under this it would prohibit using a credit card to participate in gambling games.
I don't see anything that says credit there. I'm looking at page 5, and I could be missing it, but I'm looking at page 5, line, I'm assuming the subsection they're talking about, that you're referring to is subsection 12 at line 3, where it says all ticket chips or electronic cards used to make wagers. And then it talks about electronic cards. I don't see anything that says that you can utilize a credit card to purchase it. I think they just mean those electronic cards that you can use for gaming, but I don't see anything that says anything relative to a credit card. I could be missing it, though.
But a debit card, you could withdraw cash from an ATM machine within the casino with a debit card.
I'm sorry, you're asking if that is currently allowable versus this bill?
No, I'm saying under this bill, you would be able to withdraw cash from an ATM machine within a casino with a debit card.
Correct. That
But
debit
not
card
a
doesn't
credit
carry-
card.
Right, the debit card doesn't carry any interest or anything like that on for a cash advance. The credit card would. If I use my credit card to get $200, then I am now paying the interest based on that credit card, as opposed to if I have the money in my account and I go get $200.
I understand. So is that what we're going after here, that the buildup of the interest from people using a credit card? Is that
I think
the issue?
to the point that this gentleman made, what I understood in J-Card was that there was a loophole. The overall goal is to disallow individuals from spending money they do not have to gamble. And this would allow them to spend money they don't have because they get an advance on a credit card. And in addition to spending money that they don't have, they're now going to have to pay that back with interest.
So they would either have to bring cash or have a debit card under this?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please add Representative Sheehan to the roll. Any questions? Leader Stevens.
Thank you. Leader, if I'm so inclined to be able to establish a line of credit with a casino and I take out a marker, would I still be able, or can I satisfy that marker with a credit card before I leave? Or do I have to get cash to pay down that marker?
I'm not sure that I'm following. I apologize.
So if I'm going to the casino once a week and I'm a regular gambler and I have established credit with that gaming company, I go to the craps table and I take out a marker for $1,000 and I lose my $1,000, and before I leave I want to clear up that marker. Am I still allowed to use a credit card to pay that marker down, or am I currently allowed to?
I don't know that anything in this bill prevents that. That wasn't part of the discussion that I remember having, or that might be potentially an issue. So just based on the language I see from the bill, because there's 3 lines in it and none of them reflect on that. I could not tell you whether or not this prevents that. As to whether or not it's allowed now, that is also not something that.
Okay, and then if this also addresses lottery tickets, I'm aware that you can go to one of those stand-up lottery machines in a 7-Eleven or a convenience store, and you can swipe a credit card, and they treat that transaction like it is a cash advance. This would eliminate that as well?
They treat the transaction of purchasing are you saying that using a credit card to purchase essentially a scratch off, I think is what he said. Mm-hmm. You're saying they use a credit card to purchase a scratch off. Would this prevent the ability to do that? Is that what you're asking me?
This eliminates the use of credit cards for either at the cash register or at those machines, because again, I know I've had somebody complain about this to me, that they went and used a credit card to purchase lotto tickets, and they saw it show up on their bill that it was basically treated like a cash advance against their credit card. Would this address that and eliminate that?
My understanding is yes, because the language is pretty clear. No person shall sell a lottery ticket or share on a credit basis. So if they use a credit card, I believe this would prevent that. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I think that's all I have.
Leader Rita.
So I understand this, and would it ban, ATM machines completely from
No.
casinos? Let's just say the casino, if you went to the casino and you wanted to do a cash advance
can
off
still do
your
that.
debit card, you could still do that.
Yeah. Yes. ATMs, not banned. You want to get cash based on cash that you have? Yes, debit card. Credit card, no.
And it's just for cash, so if you were to buy a dinner or something else at a casino, would you still be able to?
Are you asking me if someone can use their
guess-
credit card to get a cash advance to then go and purchase dinner at the casino?
I guess I'm just looking at the whole concept. If you went to a show, or you went to, depending on which casino, you went to have dinner, was it, because I know at one point they were banning ATMs on casinos, on casino floors, you go through the different things. What, is it just the cash advance on a credit card? And I understand what you're saying, and I also understand, like with lottery tickets, if you're going to a store, I guess how would you regulate then if you want to talk about a store and they were going to buy lottery tickets? How do you know that they would comply with that versus shown as a purchase of something?
I could not tell you how somebody would comply. I'll be very clear.
I'm just, do you see where I'm going at this?
I do, but I think there are already rules in place as well that are similar to this, and there has to be an enforcement piece for that as well. But to your question regarding the ability to use a cash advance to then purchase dinner, I don't know how many people are going to casino, going to the ATM to pay interest essentially to go grab a nice dinner at the casino. Not saying that it couldn't happen. I don't know, and I know a lot of times they're like kind of red herrings, arguments thrown out, but I don't know that's really something that's happening consistently.
I guess I was just trying to understand what the J-car confusion was. That was all. That part maybe is the other part.
No problem.
What was confusing on that?
It's a good question. So, the Illinois Gaming Board provided rules, right? And our understanding was that there was a gap that did not cover these specific things. And so, instead of trying to stick that into rules, it was you would need a statute change. You would need an actual live bill to do those things.
Okay. Seems like the gaming board likes to do a lot of things by rules, don't they?
Don't give me the talking on the record.
Thank you. I understand what you're trying to do. I'm going to support your bill.
Any additional questions from the committee? There being no further debate, Representative Gordon Booth moves that House Bill 4149 do pass. Is there leave? Yes. Leave being granted on a vote of 16 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 no position. House Bill 4149 is declared passed and will be favorably reported to the House floor. I think we have one more replacement letter. Yep. Replacing permanent member Croak with temporary member Olacall. And we will recognize Representative Olacall to present House Bill 4885. And my understanding, is there a committee amendment that we would like adopted? Representative DeLuca moves that the committee do adopt House Committee Amendment Number 1 to House Bill 4885. All those in favor say aye, opposed say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the amendment is adopted. I will recognize Representative Olacall to please present the bill when you're ready.
Thank you, Chairman Didich, Spokesperson Stevens, members of the committee. I'm here to present House Bill 4885. 4885 is a targeted, common-sense clarification to ensure Illinois law is used to protect Illinois residents, not exploited by out-of-state actors. This bill is about closing a loophole, not expanding or weakening gambling laws. Right now, an out-of-state litigation financer from Florida is taking advantage of an Illinois statute originally intended to protect consumers. They're filing lawsuits on behalf of unidentified Illinois residents without representing, knowing, or compensating them. These entities have no ties to Illinois and no real stake in the claims, yet they are seeking triple damages, and not a single dollar of that recovery goes back to Illinois residents. What was intended as a consumer protection tool is being turned into a profit mechanism for outside actors. So 4885 does three things. It raises the threshold, updates the outdated trigger from $50 to $5,000, so the statute focuses on truly significant losses, not small casual wagers. Ends the bounty-style suits, deletes the third-party lawsuit provision that allows unrelated plaintiffs and litigation vehicles to sue for profit. And three, creates a consistency with current Supreme Court case law, adds a fantasy sports exemption to reflect current case law and to prevent misuse of an old law against lawful, skill-based activity. The bill restores the statute to its original purpose, protecting Illinois residents, ensuring our courts are not used for out-of-state litigation schemes. I have Attorney Chris Rosfeld from Frost LLP here to provide testimony and answer any questions.
Thank you, Representative. I'll read the witness slips. We have three proponents: Chris Rosfeld from Frost LLP, Lily Mosos representing Prize Picks, Mike Zaleski representing Underdog Fantasy, one opponent, individual Ben Huizenga, and one no position, Alex Sobor, Illinois Gaming Board. Mr. Rosfeld, would you like to provide testimony today?
Yes, thank you.
All right, please proceed. Thank you.
Sure. So I'm Chris Rosfeld. I'm with Frost LLP. We are a nationwide litigation firm that represent daily fantasy sports clients throughout the country. And we are dealing with a number of these lawsuits throughout the country for what we can describe as very archaic, old laws that have been rarely enforced, rarely used to protect anyone. And a niche law firm very recently, actually lawyers funding Delaware LLC entities called Illinois Loss Recovery Act, even though it has no relationship to any citizen of Illinois, have entered into Illinois and other states and sued under this very old statute. The statute is relatively straightforward, if I'm going to summarize, and pretty consistent across the country. There are several of them, often called the Loss Recovery Acts or Statute of Anns. They do typically one thing in many states and two things here in Illinois. In most states, they allow a gambler or a loser in a wage or game to go and recover their losses. They typically have a threshold, just like Illinois does, of anywhere from $10 to $50 or more, and that's kind of where a lot of the states stop. Illinois has a second provision that allows a third party, and the way the statute is written, it says any person, and that is the provision here that's being exploited by these out-of-state litigation firms and lawyers who are funding it, trying to get rich quick. This statute has rarely been used in Illinois. It's been rarely used anywhere. It has not been used very often to protect any consumers here in Illinois at all, and that's why we're in favor of these changes. So I'll pause there for questions and certainly happy to answer any.
Any questions from the committee? All right, seeing none, there being no further debate, Representative Rita moves that House Bill 4885 do pass as amended. Do we have leave?
Yeah.
Leave being granted on a vote of 16 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 no position. House Bill 4885 is declared passed and will be favorably reported to the House floor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Leader Buckner. You ready? Leader Buckner, could you advise which bill you would like to start with?
You can go 4679.
Okay, the chair recognizes Leader Buckner to present House Bill 4679. Please proceed when you're ready.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, committee. The 17th century British poet John Donne said, "Ask not for whom the bell tolls for thee." And that's the committee deadline bill, which is why I'm here today to get this bill and the following one on second reading so we could continue negotiations. HB 4679 requires transparency, efficiency, and reporting by the Illinois Gaming Board on the status of an applicant's license. It requires mandatory status updates. It requires confirmation of whether the application remains under active review, identification of any outstanding documents, deficiencies, or investigative items, and it also creates path for conditional approval within 365 days. I have had a number of conversations with IGB, but not enough conversations. They are opposed, which you'll see on the record, but I'm asking for this august body to oblige me to move this bill to second and to leave it there as we continue to negotiate.
I'll read the witness slips. We have 2 proponents, Mays Jackson representing the National Association of Promotional Retailers, and Michael Zaleski representing J&J Ventures, and 1 opponent, Ben Huizenga, an individual. I don't see anybody wishing to provide testimony, so we'll go to any questions from the committee. Leader Stevens.
Just, Leader Buckner, you're going to bring this back to committee?
Absolutely.
That's all we want to know.
Yes, sir.
What'd you say, the bell's tolling?
The bell is tolling for thee.
Leader Buckner, just one quick question for clarification. I know you mentioned you're working with stakeholders on an amendment. Can you just advise for the record who you're working with and what stakeholders still are needing to provide feedback for the language that we may see in the future?
Yeah, so nothing will move forward without conversations with the gaming board. They've come to see me a few times to be able to parse through this. I've been the difficult one to find, so it's not on them, it's on me.
Perfect, thank you. Any additional questions from the committee? All right. There being no further debate, Representative Gordon Booth moves that House Bill 4679 do pass. Is there leave? Leave being granted on a vote of 16 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 no opposition. House Bill 4679 is declared passed and will be favorably reported to the House floor. I will now recognize Leader Buckner to present House Bill 3473. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. HB 3473 bans sweepstakes devices, providing that a gambling offense involving such a device is a Class 4 felony, and creates the Gaming Disparity Task Force to address disparities in the gaming industry. Further, it clarifies that the applicant or licensee under the Video Gaming Act is not in violation of the Act or IGB rules if the operation of a gaming device